Hello everyone, welcome back to Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to like it. It will be greatly appreciated. So as you can see from the images in front of you, it's been 5 months since we left our job at Hamilton Wanderers after winning the Champions League final. If you did not check out that episode, then please do. I would highly recommend it. And we have ended up at Cúcuta Deportivo in the second tier of Colombia. That wasn't expected, and I'm gonna run you guys through exactly how we ended up here. So what happened was, when we left our job at Hamilton Wanderers, I slightly over-exaggerated how sexy I would be as a manager with a 96% win record, 6 trophies, a Champions League. I thought I'd be able to get a decent job. So we started off on the job hunt, and the Melbourne City job in the A-League in Australia was immediately available. That was one I went for, even though I am slightly scared of the registration rules in the A-League. But Melbourne City, even though they finished 9th that season, were predicted to finish 1st. So that was a decent opportunity. It was a 2.5-star reputation club. I thought, as a 2-star reputation manager, that's a good step up for me. But then the fans laughed me off and I didn't get a job interview. So I brushed that aside and I continued to look for jobs in top division. And I did that for a couple of months and continually got knocked back without getting job interviews. So at that stage, I was figuring out that the New Zealand football system isn't rated very highly at all, which is realistic, but I was essentially thinking I was a lot better positioned to get a good job than I actually was. So I probably missed out on some decent jobs in that meantime in second division competitions. The likes of Chippa United in South Africa was one that their fans were quite keen to get me. They were hot favourites for the second division. I thought I was better than that job back then, but in hindsight, maybe I should have taken it. So we got a couple of first division job interviews in Mexico. It was mainly around in Chile. It was mainly the South American region that we were getting a foot in for interviews. And just before we took this job, also in the second division of China, where they did have a bit more money, the likes of Michao, and there was the big club in China as well. Yeah, the big club in China, Guangzhou, had a job open up for them before that as well. We went for that. That would have been a brilliant, brilliant job, but the likes of Roberto Mancini were after that one. We just could not compete. Didn't even get a job interview there. So we had to reevaluate where we could go, and in the end it ended up being a second division. And we ended up coming here to Cúcuta Deportivo. Now, in real life, this team has just gone into liquidation, and they are in the top division of Colombia. So it's an interesting dynamic that we've got going on here. But in this save, they have got relegated the previous season to the second division of Colombia, the Torneo Betplay. Now, we will go through the rules, if I can explain them to you, because there's stages, and I know I said that I was a bit scared of the A-League. I'm a little bit scared of this, even though I'm here. So, there's 2 stages to each season, first half and the second half. In the first half, before I got here, our team finished 7th. So we qualified for the semi-final stage, where you go into group. We finished last in our group, no good. If you win the final, I'm pretty sure you go to an overall final for a playoff to go into the top division. And you play off the team that wins the second half of the season, the same system. So I think that's how things work. And there's also a league table. It's incredibly confusing. Essentially, you want to just finish top all the time. What we've done is we've finished 7th and 8th, and where we sit, where we come into this game here, we are in the semi-final stage. We have played 1 game before I got here. We lost it 2-1. So we are currently on the outer, but you do play each team twice. So there is an opportunity here for us to try and get something out of the season. So we have a rough chance of getting promoted. Now, obviously, it is highly unlikely. We have only just got here. Foreign tactic. I don't think they're going to be as switched on for us as you would have seen on here at Caversham and at Hamilton Wanderers. But we'll see if we can get out of this. If we can, it's an absolute bonus. Otherwise, we'll get into the transfer window, rejig the squad, and I think next season we will have a very good chance of going up. If we look at the season preview, you will notice this team was expected to finish second. So they have the quality there, but they haven't really delivered. 7th and 8th, obviously, so far in those stages. And if we look at the overall league table, they are 8th. Obviously, though, there's more games played and it's all very confusing. What we were going to do was do a squad rundown, but because we've joined a team right at the back end of the season starts in January, ends in early December, so it's a very long season. So we are right at the back end of it right now. But what that means is we'll finish this off. Obviously, we're going to be rejigging the squad, so I think we'll just introduce you to players as we need to for now. And then before we start next season, whatever division that's in, we will do a full squad rundown because there'll be some players who leave and there's not much point in going over them when they're only going to be here for maybe 1 or 2 episodes. A good thing about the squad, you'll see a maximum of 4 foreign players. We have 0. That is an area I can definitely exploit in the off-season, in that December to February transfer window. Obviously, I'd rather get it done in that December period before the season starts because there is not much of a break here, which to be fair is probably a good thing. The other good thing to note is that if you are an under 20 player, you do not have to be registered. So you can have some massive squad sizes in this by the time you get all your players registered, and you can call up those young players who don't have to actually be registered. So we can definitely build a lot of depth here, which is good. It will be quite similar. Hopefully I'm looking to build something similar to what we had at Caversham. Obviously in New Zealand it was an under 21 rule. It's similar here, and that wasn't the case at Hamilton Wanderers, which if I'm being honest, I missed that a bit when we went to that New Zealand Premier Division. So I am looking forward to that. We can use that. We can use the foreign player rule. There's a bit of freedom in the squad registration that we can work with. So that will help us try and turn this team into a favourite for next season if we're still here, or at least stay in the top division, which I believe is called the Liga Betplay de Mayo instead of the Torneo. But that is how things work. So yeah, there's a Champions playoff and there's stuff going on all over the shop. We'll see how we go. It's a bit confusing, isn't it? I could have picked a simpler league to go to. So we joined this team yesterday in game, and we've got a game on our second day in charge. So we're going to get straight into it here. There is no mucking around. You've seen how we position. If we can win this, we'll be right back in the hunt to get through the semi-final group stage and maybe end up with a rough shot making the final for the second phase of the season and then going into the Champions playoff where we could get promoted. Unfortunately, as we come to this team, we'll go past the team that we've picked and we go down, and what you will see is a bunch of red. We have 2 players suspended, Angulo and Cuerno, and more importantly, 3 players injured, and 2 of them are 2 of our best players, namely Maralanda and Venegas, as well as Uligo. So that's not ideal. What we will do is we'll go through the starting lineup for this game, because it's going to change before the next game, and we'll just, as I said, introduce you to players as we go. In goal today, Juan Chavira, 31-year-old goalkeeper. He looks really good. Now, obviously, I'm coming from New Zealand. All the players are going to look ridiculous compared to what we used to have in terms of their attributes. But he is a very solid goalkeeper, so I think we're okay there. 3.5 star rated. Good passing. He's going to be very good in the sweeper keeper role. His first touch isn't great, but apart from that, he's pretty damn good. Henley Obando, 2.5 star, 31-year-old. He has been listed for transfer by the club before I got here. We would normally have some stronger players in this position. He looks okay. He'll do the job for us today anyway. But 2.5 stars at 31, he's probably a player we would look to move on. But he's in the squad today. Oscar Salas is here on loan from Barranquilla. He is joining Llaneros next season. So he's definitely a player that we will lose. And to be honest, a 1.7 metre centre-back who's 62 kg, I'm not too hung up about losing him. Hopefully he can do a good job for us in the few games that we will have him for. We've got Ordonez next to him. He's a much taller centre-back, 1.87 metres, 80 kgs. He's a solid player, 22-year-old with a bit of scope for improvement. Another player who should do a decent job for us. He looks decent enough for this league, can also play left back. At left back, we have Sebastian Acosta, 3.5 star, 30-year-old, can play all the way down that left side. Very well rounded. He should be a good player for us. See what we do with him in the off season. Obviously he's getting towards the wrong side of 30, but for now he's going to be a good player for us. The midfield looks actually really good here. Harlan Suarez, defensive midfielder, another 30-year-old. So you're starting to see we've got a fair bit of experience. Another really well-rounded player though that we've got here. He can cover most places in that midfield. he looks good. Again, it's going to be a bit hard to judge based on the fact that I'm coming from New Zealand and all these players look really good compared to what we had there. One, Carlos Caicedo. He is a little bit younger, 26 years old. He can play also in the defensive midfield or just the midfield. Looks really suited to this midfield though. Again, looks a good player. He's got a bit of scope for improvement. Better suited as a defensive midfielder, but we'll see where he slots in the team once we have players back from injury and make some transfers next season. Michael Lopez will be our left winger. He's more suited to being a bit further back. Wanted by a club. He's actually transfer listed. Might change that. 27 years old. He's got a little bit of scope for improvement, but again, a nicely well-rounded player for us there. Actually, he's playing in the midfield. Of course he is, Shaun. Jumping the gun there. So yeah, he'll be good for us. Again, a player who, when we get some players back and in, might be on the end. We'll see if we can get a decent deal for him if he's transfer listed, but a player that I'm 50-50 on whether he's staying or going. Is Nadir Santos, free-star midfielder. He's playing on the right wing for us. I'll get my positions right with these guys eventually. New team and getting to know them. This guy looks very promising. Free-star 18-year-old, potential for maybe even higher. Determination is right up there, so he has got a very nice personality driven. He likes to shoot from distance. I don't mind that because we've got inverted inside forward on the wings. Look, I think he can become a really good player here, so he is one to keep an eye on. Of course, he's on loan though. He might be a guy that we look to bring in maybe on a permanent basis in the off season. As you can see, though, very promising player who we've been giving some game time to, not just this year but the last 2 years. 9 goals in 40 appearances. Jean Labastidas, 26-year-old winger, can play either side. Again, nicely rounded. He's got a bit of scope for improvement. Probably one of the best players in our team. And to round out the starting 11 for this game, we've got Dario Rodriguez. I will try not to call him Diogo and get him mixed up with the right back from Hamilton Wanderers. But as you can see, again, a well-rounded striker. He's not great at one thing, apart from penalty taking. And that's useful. But apart from that, he's very well rounded. Not great at anything, but just good. I think he'll do a decent job for us. He's got 9 goals and 30 appearances while he's been here. So we'll give them a crack. What I did do, is we go our reports and we go to selection info. Try and give as many players with the green ratings through the whole season a chance in this game from those who were available. This is going to be a different team quite substantially over the next few episodes, I imagine, when we finish this stage of the season off and go into next season. But that is who we're lining up for today. We've got subs. If we use them, I'll let you know who they are. Nicholas Gill, I will give you a quick rundown of. He looked very good at centre back. He's a guy I'd be playing instead of the shorty from loan Oscar Salas, but not quite fit. So we're going to run with this team today. We are going with our Caversham tactic. We'll see how it goes. There's no harm in using it. We're not being judged here for the rest of the season. It's a club that, in terms of vision, they sort of just want us to challenge for a playoff place, and that's what we've done this season, and it's what they're expecting from us for the rest of the time, our time here anyway. And club culture wise, just make progress on and off the pitch, which really means do what you want, just work within the wage budget. So we will see how we get on today. I have no idea. We are playing Real Santander, the other team in our group who lost their first game, so it's going to be interesting. I'm not too sure how we should be doing here, but we'll see. Away from home, so Real Santander versus Cucuto Deportivo. Another job that was potentially coming up was the once Caldas one, but I got a little bit sick of not having a job, to be honest, and that's why we're here, as well as the fact that I wasn't as sexy as I thought I was reputation wise and stature wise. I think we'll stick positive for now. There's no real harm in staying at positive. I know when we were at Hamilton Wanderers we went balanced more often than not, but I'm not really too sure what to make of things here, so I think we'll go with a positive mind frame and try and take the game to them, and we'll see if this Caversham crusher can work overseas. I'm not sure. So there's that team that we were going, that we just described to you. As I said, any subs, we will let you guys know. Obviously, with the amount of injuries that we have, some of these players are really lacking match fitness, and also they're not too familiar with our formation. But we'll see how things go. It's a learning experience for everyone here. In the second tier of Colombia, as we're up against Jorge Gonzalez and Real Santander. First team talk. I'm going to tell them to avenge their last loss. We'll see if... Ooh, hello, that's worked nicely. We'll give the midfielders a bit of a faith. I think we're looking good now. Let's see how this goes. So we are in the red and black. If you would have seen earlier in the video, we've actually got some official uniforms now, which is very nice. They actually look quite cool. Bit of a shame that the club's gone into liquidation because in real life, because they're quite sexy with the little archer. on the bottom left of them. I'm saying sexy a lot today, aren't I? I should really stop that. It's Football Manager. Anyway, we have an early free kick. We're in the red and black, and it's been hidden to the side netting. Now, I have set up the set pieces here somewhat hesitantly because, of course, we're changing the team after this game probably, so it's interesting. And we've got a goal. Is that an own goal? It is. Okay. Our first goal for Cucuto Deportivo, and it's come from a long throw. Some things never change. And I'm not exactly sure what happened here. The keeper came out. It looks like it's hit one of the Real Santander defenders in the head. And after a good spell of play, we are 1-0 up after 7 minutes. And we're going out of the corner. This is going nicely. Yeah, I don't think I ever got around to telling you which colours Real Santander are in, but they're in the blue and white, obviously. And Acosta plays one in the box, and hopefully we don't get caught out here. We are playing with that standard defensive line, the Caversham Crusher tactic. I mean, you've seen it a few episodes now. Ooh, Suarez tidying that pass up from the keeper, who does look like he likes to go walk about a bit, which is a little bit concerning, but we'll roll with it for now. And Rodriguez is trying to find a ball for Labastidas. They don't connect. It's very messy. Yeah, that was interesting. 1-0 after 10 minutes anyway. Free kick for Cucuto Deportivo. 13 minutes gone. We've had the best play so far, but it's 1-0, and as I said, I'm not exactly sure what I'm expecting here. I mean, a win here, and all of a sudden I might get my hopes up, which is probably the worst thing that can happen, because all of a sudden I'll start dreaming of promotion. But a good little spell now with the ball for Real Santander. Gonzalez will find Reyes. Caleno, nice back heel to Reyes. And Caballero buries a header, and it is 1-1 just like that. Oh my god, I love the commentary already in the bottom, in the description. It's golazo, go. I'm gonna possibly scream goal out a few times in this chapter. Yeah, that might have been our short centre back there. I'm gonna suggest that's what happened. Unfortunately, it was their first chance of the game. It's 1-1 after 18 minutes. And another free kick here to Real Santander, and they just missed the target. Yeah, well, I think we need more height in our defence. Still 1-1 after 28 minutes. So we've got a throw in here to Real Santander. Half hour gone. They try to find Caballero, but Santos is able to clear that up. I think it was Santos or Salas, but it must have been Salas, because now here's Santos. He runs through a bit of a challenge here. He plays one back to Lopez. Now out to Abando. Casedo. What can he do? He loses the ball, and they look to take us down the wing here, and that's exactly what they'll do through Caballero. Someone shut him down. It's a good save from Chavera. Building up nicely, but just not doing enough when we get down to our end. A long throw now, and it scrambles around after the keeper dives for it, and then we couldn't put it in the back of the net. That's where we're looking most attacking now. It's a free kick after Lopez brings down a player. It remains 1-1 in what is a pretty even game. 40 minutes coming up. A free kick right on the brink of half time. Lopez, it's going to go to Ordonez. He puts it over the bar, and I don't think he was offside, so that's a very big chance that we've missed out on there. But 1-1 in our first game with Cucuto Deportivo. We haven't really controlled possession as much as I would have liked to. If they didn't gift us that goal, you'd say they were dominating the game, really. It would be nice if we got a few more shots off and on target. But not terrible. I think we'll tell the boys that. I'll tell them to keep doing what we've been doing. A bit of faith. Well, there's more to come from you anyway. And we'll see how this goes. Tactically, we might go to balance just to see if it goes a little bit better. Now, also, Ordonez has got an injury. Maybe we should take him off. But hesitant too, because he's our actual tall centre back. But we'll bring Venegas on. Oscar Venegas, a solid 3-star defender. He's 1 metre 83. I could have possibly started him instead of Salas, but Salas is match fit, so that's one thing to keep in mind. And Jean Labastidis is not having a good game. Being one of the better players in the squad, I think we'll leave things the way they are for now and just see how he's going around the 60-minute mark. So we'll crack into the second half. It is 1-1. Hopefully we can get a win here, and we might be in the hunt for promotion. Oh, that is terrible passing from Raul Santander. Yeah, hopefully we can pull a win out here. Okay, we're coming up to 60 minutes. Not a lot's happened so far in the second half. Jean Labastidas isn't doing much. We'll bring Alma Salas on for him. He is a 2.5-star 23-year-old winger. Another one who can play both sides. Not quite as well-rounded as most other players in this team, but we will give him a shot. See if that sub can maybe just change things up. Hopefully we can pull something out of the fire here. 1-1, 60 minutes gone. Okay, a free kick here. Salas is on it. And it's the goalkeeper, Gonzalez, tips it over the bar. And we will have a corner. Can we pull something out from our corners? No, they clear it away. And it's going to be Kaleno who will run it down the wing here. And this is looking a bit threatening. Salas, oh, I thought it was a good tackle, but he's given away a free kick and he'll probably pick up a yellow card, will he? Yes. Dear, this is not looking as good as it did earlier. Now, we'll get you to ease off tackles. Just seeing Suarez isn't having a great game. And there's a bit tight in the midfield. Neither's Rodriguez. Really would like a goal. I think we're going to bring Johan Gomez on here with 25 to go. A 3-star striker. Again, he's pretty well rounded in most areas. 30 years old. Hopefully he can do a job for us now. So we'll make that change. See if a bit more experience up front can bring us a goal. 20 minutes left to go. Still 1-1. Okay, we've got a free kick. This is a dangerous spot for us. Usually Lopez went for it directly and it's just missed. I mean, if he gets that close, I suppose I don't mind him in a crack, but it remains 1-1. Shot-wise, we're definitely creating more, so just need to be a bit more clinical, and we might be able to pull this out as we now have a long throw. Ken Salas gets his head to it, but fires it well wide. Those long throws, once again, look like they are our most dangerous form of attack, although now Raul Santander start to build something, but they have given the ball back away to us, and hopefully we can catch them out here. Casado. Back to Suarez. Casado. The midfielders playing the ball amongst themselves, and Xavier now wanders out of his goal to Vanegas. Acosta. Defenders now having a bit of fun amongst themselves. Acosta. Find Salas. Off the bench, he puts a ball in for Santos. He heads it on, but Gonzalez is able to deal with that pretty comfortably. If that was a highlight, it's a bit of an underwhelming one, but we have won the ball back, so hopefully we can create another chance here as the ball goes forward to Lopez. Salas. Here's a crack. Oh, what a strike by Alma Salas off the bench. Well, that could be quite good. Go, go, go. That is, if you can't tell, I've never managed in South America before, so just try and ignore my reaction to those little comments down below. Anyway, from outside the box, that is a wonderful strike with the right peg into the top left corner. And all of a sudden, we are 2-1 up with very little time to play. And that gives us a decent chance, if we can hold this result, of rescuing something from the season. Although now, oh boy, they're in here. Oh, good block from the defender, and he was offside. I think we might. Should we stick on positive? Yeah, we'll stick to it. Could be my downfall here. Anyway, we've got a long throw. If we can get something off this, although it's not taken long, Lopez will find Obando. If we can get something out of this, it is definitely game over because we're right in injury time. Acosta with room. Oh, it's hit the post. That would have wrapped things up. But it remains 2-1. And there's a half-minute left as they have it. This goal kick. Pull. Put a tackle on someone. No, Berrio. Now they find a pole again. Keep it out, boys. Mogas. Oh, geez, they're building up something here, aren't they? Berrio to pole. Will he have a crack? Do not give away a penalty. Yes, good block Acosta. And Salas with a karate kick looking thing there. He's cleared it. And we win our first game in charge of Cucuto Deportivo. That's good. because for a while there it was looking like a fairly average draw, but in the end we've created some good chances. I think positive mentality is the way to go with this tactic here. See over the game that towards the end of that first half we weren't really creating much, but second half we really started to pick things up, so that's a good effort considering I've only been here for one day. We didn't really control possession like we normally would with this tactic while we were in New Zealand, and that wonderful strike by Salas will get us a 2-1 win, and given how the second half went, I think we deserved that in the end, and it's a good result because we had a heap of players out, so I think this is definitely a result that we can improve on going forward into the rest of the semi-final group stage. Tell the boys I'm happy with that. And with that we go up to second as Union Magdalena have lost to Real Cartagena, who we are playing in our next game. That will be a bit more of a test, but with some players coming back, we might be able to get something out of that. So that will do for today's episode. A somewhat introduction to our new team here in the second division of Colombia. I will see how much I get through gameplay wise, but when we come back it will be for another game in the semi-final stage. It might be Cartagena again in the away league possibly, but we'll see where we end up, and I will record another episode for you guys tomorrow. So if you haven't enjoyed today's video, then make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, it is greatly appreciated. Any feedback, welcome. And we will see you guys tomorrow for another semi-final group stage game here at Cucuta Deportivo. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.